Hello and a very warm welcome to the Real Talk. We hope that your week has gone well. What have you been up to? Let's talk. The hashtag is the Real Talk. You send us a message, I assure you, we will respond. Today's conversation is going to be a good one. I have no doubt about that because the person that I will be talking to is a seasoned professional business development expert. This guy is in insurance, banking, he's done marketing extensively, capacity building, branding as well, and so much more. He's embarked on a pursuit for a doctorate in management. Imagine, he's got all those years of experience, then he's gone back to school. We will get to know what keeps him going. Welcome to the program. We're coming to you live from Mythos Boutique Hotel, and we are live on RBA's official YouTube channel, actually RwandaTV YouTube channel. Welcome on board. My name is Jackie Lumbasi. And our guest is Joseph Cyusa GASHAYIJA. I hope I pronounced that surname well.
Yeah, you done it.
You know, I've always called you Cyusa, so I'll just stop at Joseph Cyusa.
Please call me Cyusa. Don't worry.
Exactly.
That's the name that is known.
There you are. Good to see you.
Good to see you too, Jackie.
How have you been?
I've been well.
Wonderful.
Long
time. My goodness. This Kigali city, small city, but we fail to see each other.
Yeah.
No, but we've got to be intentional about it. Yeah.
But that's Kigali. Kigali has developed, so.
Yeah, exactly. And people are busy. Yeah. Just moving up and down. Joseph, it's such an honor to have you here, and thank you for accepting to share your story with us. I would love us to go back to where your life started. Who is Joseph? Where were you born? What kind of family were you born in? Paint a picture for us of the kind of childhood that you had.
So let me use Cyusa.
Please use Cyusa. Thank you.
Because the viewers are Rwandans.
Okay.
Okay, even those that don't speak.
Yeah.
But Cyusa is the name that is known.
Actually,
but Joseph is
you know, I think I'm the only one who calls you Joseph.
I think you're the only one that calls me Joseph.
Let's go ahead,
My
Cyusa.
father called me GASHAYIJA, which is my family name.
Wow.
And I love GASHAYIJA as well, so my family keeps
calling you GASHAYIJA.
Yes, keep calling me GASHAYIJA.
And then your friends
so it
call you
depends on
Cyusa.
where I was. When I was at campus, they used to call me Jeff. So.
Oh, interesting.
I love all the names.
You're a man of many names.
I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
So Cyusa is a person that was born in Kigali. Okay, should I say I was born in Kigali? I was born actually at the university. My father and my mother were at campus, so University of Rwanda.
They were studying or were they working there?
Yes, they were studying.
Interesting.
So I was born in the campus at the university. And then later we were brought to Kigali. And so I grew up in Kigali in the suburbs of Gisozi. I don't know whether you know Gisozi.
I know Gisozi very well.
Kabugu. That's where I grew up from. Wow. That was before genocide. And after genocide, we actually relocated to Gisozi. And so that's where I grew up from. I did my primary school in Gisozi exactly. And my secondary school here in Nyamirambo at Collège Saint-André. I did math as my option. And
is that because you were very good at it?
Yeah, probably.
I stay away from mathematicians.
Probably.
I was miserable.
I did math and physics. And then I was supposed to go to university here in Rwanda, but I decided to go to an English-speaking country because by that time English was not popular here in Rwanda. We only spoke French, we only spoke in Rwanda, and a little bit of Swahili. So I wanted to go to an English-speaking country, and then I crossed the border. I went to Uganda. And so...
Around what age were you then?
Just after secondary school. After secondary school. I didn't want to go to the university.
16 there.
Yeah, 18, 17
okay,
there.
yeah.
So I crossed the border. I went to Uganda, and I did my first degree in Uganda, in the university called Uganda Christian University.
UCU.
UCU, Mukono.
Mukono.
That's where I first did my first degree. I did my first degree in entrepreneurship and IT. So by then, because I was coming from a French-speaking country, they couldn't award me a degree. So they awarded me a diploma. So I said, it's fine. I said, it's fine.
Did you know that?
Yeah, I didn't have any problem. Yeah, when I started,
when you started, they made this clear to you.
First of all, they didn't want me actually to study together with the rest of the students. because
you spoke more
English,
French than
yeah,
your
because my
English was little.
Very little. I couldn't even speak, hi, how are you?
Oh my goodness.
But I forced myself. I said, I want to do this. So instead of giving me a degree, they gave me a diploma. I said, it's fine. This is at the beginning. I have no problem.
Good.
So I did a diploma in entrepreneurship. And I think that's why I fell in love with business. But again, the entrepreneurship was together with the IT. And when I finished, I actually did well. That I was offered to go to India to do my bachelor's degree, which I really wanted first. But
Was that a scholarship?
Yep. Wow. But I couldn't get it in entrepreneurship still. So because I did entrepreneurship and IT, I said, okay, let me do it in IT. So let me find out what happens the other side.
Yes.
So I did my my degree in IT from India, and then but I didn't want to leave Uganda, so I came back to Uganda, and that's why I started my job. I even started my job from Uganda, and
before coming back, I would love to know, how was your experience in India? I know a few people that studied in India, but I haven't really sat down to get like the full story. How was it there for you?
It wasn't that much experience because I didn't spend a lot of time there. I actually didn't finish my degree in India because the university opened up a campus in Uganda. And then I said, wow, in Uganda.
Let me go
back to Uganda because I had started working before I went to India. And in India, I wasn't making money. And I was that person that would love to make money even at a very
young age.
As a young age. And I said, no. If they've opened Uganda, I applied to actually finish my degree in Uganda. And then I came back to Uganda. So that's why I completed my first degree. That is after diploma and then a degree in IT.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And during this whole time, where your parents and siblings?
Now, I grew up in a family. We're born 3. I'm the firstborn, and my 2 sisters. And before genocide, we're living in Kagugu, and then after genocide, we relocated to Gisozi. And so we joined another family. My mother remarried, and we got another father. My father died before, and now that family had other family members. So
other children. You got more siblings.
So I got more siblings. So we're like 7, 8.
Were they older than you? You know, had people older than you? Because you were the firstborn in the other family.
2 were older than me. 2 were younger than me. So I was in between.
Wow.
And out of the 4 that joined us, we joined the 4, one was a boy, so the rest were girls. So we were only 2 boys in 8 children. So the rest were girls. So we grew up, I grew up in a very big family.
Yeah.
And you see, after genocide, the people would actually bring other relatives that didn't have parents, those that lost their parents. So we actually had more other people in the home. So I remember I grew up in a home of not less than 12 people, then plus mommy and daddy, and then plus the houseboy and the house
people helping around.
So we're many in the home. So that's the
like an old school.
So by the time I went to campus, all of them were still staying together. But I was the only one that decided to go to Uganda. And the sister that follows me, after 2 years, she completed her secondary school, and then for her, she went to India. So by the time I joined India, actually, I found her there when she was in her second year, somewhere around there. So my siblings were still here in Rwanda. I was staying with mom and dad.
Yeah.
Apart from her that went to India, and then we went together.
When you look back at your childhood and the diversity that came with it, coming from this family, merging with another family, making movements from Kagugu to Gisozi, then to Kampala, I'm wondering, when you look back today, how did that shape and prepare you?
Let me tell you something that is very interesting.
Please.
I did my primary studies in 4 schools. So I think that one gives you an idea. Because before genocide, I was in Kagugu. After genocide, I was in Gisozi. But before joining Gisozi, there's a family that we were together during genocide. Not my father and my mother, my sisters, no. There was another family that we moved together. You know, genocide, everyone would look for where to live. Yeah. So there's a family that we were together during genocide.
And they were not relatives of yours?
No, after we discovered they were actually our relatives, but we didn't know. So this family, they were staying in Kichukiro. Kichukilo here, Santre, and went to school with them as like in another school.
Yeah.
So that's the
That was
third,
your third school,
that's the
third primary school.
So when finally we discovered that my mother was still alive, and then we
Also,
joined
during
my mother.
this time when you're making
Yeah,
those
we're not
movements,
with my mother.
you did not know where your mother was.
Yes. We were not,
And your father had
didn't
already
know.
passed on.
That passed on before.
My goodness.
So this time when we rejoined again my mother, again, she tried to put me in a school that was similar to the school that I was in before. And then I went to Saint Famille. I don't know whether you know Saint Famille.
I know Saint Famille, yes.
Yeah. So I went to Saint Famille, but I couldn't manage. You go into Saint Famille and then you go back to Kagugu, Giswazi. It was a long journey. And then they decided to take me to Giswazi now. So I finished my primary school in a fourth school. So that's how memorable my primary life was. But I never failed in any school. I passed very well.
You'd get in.
Wherever I would go, I would do well. I would pass.
You adjusted very quickly, I imagine.
I didn't have any problem with the school that I joined.
Yeah.
And then secondary school, I only went to 2 schools. One was in Kibungo. Another one is St. Andre here in Nyamirambo, where I did my A level, my high school, and then I completed my high school.
Fantastic. So, it's a beautiful story. And then, do you have any significant highlights from the period between when you joined university, or rather, finishing high school to join university, graduating, and your first employment? If there's anything from
I would say there are 2 highlights.
Okay.
One is the fact that I had to go through different schools and be with different people, learn different cultures, different behaviors, and they shaped me from that time to who I am right now today. But again, the second highlight is that I wanted to make money when I was still young, because I remember the very first time I made money, I was actually in primary 6. And
what did you do to make that money?
I had to go and do cleaning, do housekeeping, making sure that by the time I finish my holidays, I have some money with me.
You've got some pocket money.
Because I wanted to support my mother. I wanted to support my sisters. I didn't want to be among the 8 children that are lining up to look for scholastic materials, look for school fees and everything. So I would go out of the box and say, let me go and see whether I can make some money for myself. So that is one thing that I say it's a highlight for me, because I wanted to make money at a very tender age. From primary 6, I would make my first money. So I would go to school when I'm loaded, when I have money.
Yeah, the guy would go to the kiosk to buy others cake.
The second highlight, I think, it's when now I went to Uganda. This is a young guy who doesn't speak English, who only speaks French and Kinyarwanda and a little bit of Swahili. I'm in a school of people who don't know any of the languages that I speak, and I had to find out how to make it. So the first thing I did was to go away from other Rwandese, other people that speak my language, because I want to learn very quickly. And guess what? I made it, and I started working. And by the time I finished my diploma course, I was able to teach in a primary school, because I had learned very quickly my language called English. And by the time I joined the other university and then I came back to Uganda, I started now learning Luganda. And then I said, you know what? I can't live in this city without Luganda. And then I learned it very quickly. And I remember I was even offered a job at a radio. I remember a Luganda speaking radio. I was offered
a survivor.
Called Prime Radio. I think you know Prime Radio in Uganda.
Was it
It's a 7th day.
A 7th day, yes. I was going to say that. I know it. In Chireka, yes. A 7th day Adventist prayer.
I worked there for like two and a half years.
Interesting.
I was hosting a show for a Bible study, because that was a church-based radio. So I was hosting a show every Sunday. So that is me. I didn't want to stay at home. I wanted to work, make some money, make sure there's something that comes out of my sweat.
How did you end up in that radio?
I told you it's a church-based organization.
And were you going to
So I was going to the same church.
Okay.
And they were looking for people who could host people on Sunday evening. So some people did not want to go on Sunday evening. Sunday evening is a family time. Most people don't want to go there. And I was so much interested in learning the language of Luganda, the language of English, how to do radio shows. And I said,
so you offered yourself. You took the opportunity.
I first did it for 2 consecutive Sundays. Then the third Sunday and even other Sundays, they started paying me. So he said, wow, I think this is a job that
you continued your money-making streak.
After all, I was a guy that wanted to do everything. So during day, I started working in an insurance company. Remember, I started as a teacher. Now I'm in radio. Now I'm going to an insurance company. And that was 2009, coming 2010. That's when I started my first job in an insurance company.
Insurance company.
Insurance company of East Africa.
And you had no experience.
No experience, nothing at all in insurance. I just walked in the office and I said, I need something to do. Because I didn't want to sit at home. I was this guy that didn't want to sit at home and watch TV.
So you didn't want to sit at home and watch TV, but you also didn't want to fully rely on another person
Ever
for your needs.
since my primary 6 time, I am a self-made person. I didn't want to rely on any person. Where I would fall short of what to do, that's when I would run to a family member. I would tell them, here I'm completely down. Please help me. But I would first try. And it is the thing that has made me who I am up to date. So from 2009 to date, I'm still in insurance. I've never gone back. It's only 2-3 years ago that I joined a banking system, but still that is working together with insurance. So, so that's who I am.
Fantastic. We're listening to Cyusa's story. He's got a background in banking. Insurance is where he has spent most of his time. But you've had it from primary 6. The guy has been making money. I think right now as we sit here, he must be the owner of, some of these tall buildings around us in Kiyovu. We're glad to have you on The Real Talk. We're taking a break. We will be back. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. This is The Real Talk. My name is Jackie and our guest is Cyusa. Please go to social media. You'll find Joseph Cyusa. We're going to share his Twitter handle and talk to him if you have any questions related to business development, insurance, marketing, and life generally. He will certainly respond to you. We're coming to you from Mythos Boutique Hotel in Kiyovu. If you have lunch meeting at work or you want to have a small celebration, you can talk to them and they will host you here. The hashtag is The Real Talk. Cyusa, based on your experience in business, it's wide. What role has education and capacity building played in your career growth and achievements so far?
Because I was a man of different colors and different suits and different hats.
Clearly.
I didn't want to learn everything that I was doing. So I never did anything, and I didn't want to learn about it. Remember, I started in entrepreneurship, so they introduced me to a business world. But again, I did my degree in IT. And then I said, how can I mix the two, entrepreneurship or business and then IT? And when I joined insurance, I actually found out that you can't be successful in insurance if you don't use IT, because you may need to reach as many people as possible. You may need to do a lot of things using IT. And later, I did my first master's degree in microinsurance, offered by my employer. And then I went to the Philippines. The Philippines, this is a world different from where we live, if I may use that notation, because these are the people that have suffered a lot of different things. Now they have developed microinsurance to the extent that in every household, at least, people are insured. And then remember, this is a country of over 120 million people. You may say that close to 70 people are actually insured.
Insured, that's interesting.
Whereas here in Rwanda or in East Africa, barely people reach 10%. Barely.
I wonder why. Why is that the case? Is it that they've educated their people better?
That side, people have really developed a lot. Okay. So I was privy to go there, and then I learned, and then I got my first master's in microinsurance. So that shaped me to the person that I am today. And then I started now growing into hierarchy, into positions. Remember, this is a guy who worked in an insurance company, knocked the door and said, what can I do? The only job that we are offering even up today to a starter is an insurance agent. So I became an agent. Look at this person going to be an agent. I don't speak the language that people speak in that country, so I had to learn how to speak the language that people speak. That's how I learned Luganda. So I could convince. Remember, I was an agent of a life insurance. Life insurance, this is a life-related insurance. So
and it's not easily consumed.
It's not. It's a personal decision to take it. So it is. I come to you, Jack, and tell you, you need to have a life insurance for yourself, for your family, for whoever that is around you, because they depend on you anyway. So I had to convince this person to buy a life insurance. And now, how can I convince these people if I don't know their language? And look, the more we performed, they would even take us to Nairobi and go and continue learning more about life insurance. Now,
you said it was East Africa?
Yes, insurance company of East Africa.
Okay.
So it is based in Nairobi, but it had some branches in Uganda. So they would take us to Nairobi. Now, if I reach Nairobi and I don't speak Swahili, how will I show that I actually need more promotion in my job? So I had to learn Swahili as well. Even though I didn't continue using it, but I had to learn Swahili as well. So I came back to Uganda, and then later in 2015, I said, but all this knowledge that I've amassed, experience that I've gotten from Nairobi, from Uganda, why can't I take it to my home? Then I decided to come back to Rwanda. Like,
before then, you had not thought of coming back?
I had never thought about it.
Wow.
But I reached a point I said, you know what? I think I've gained something.
Good. There's something I can take home.
The time I entered this country, I couldn't speak English. Yeah. Now I speak English. Now I speak Luganda. I speak a little bit of Swahili, plus my French and Kinyarwanda. Yep. And then the experience.
And now I know insurance.
I know insurance.
Yes.
I can go back to my country and start insurance. I remember I came towards October 2015, and I had no clue at all about insurance in Rwanda. Yes. And then I decided to do a research about insurance in Rwanda. Knocked every insurance company that was working in Rwanda, tried to tell them what I was doing in East Africa, and one of the insurance companies here picked me.
Wow.
So when they picked me, first of all, they couldn't give me a better job, a better position, because I had just started. I had just come back in a country that I had left many years ago. And then they said, start from low, we shall see how you grow. Trust me, within the 3 years, from an agent, by the time I left, I was the deputy head of the commercial department. And then I said, I think I can make it. Yeah. And then I joined another company now as the head of the department, leading the business development. Wow. Then from there to where I am now, I'm a director in business development. Yeah. So I'm just telling you, education is very, very important.
That's it.
So that's why I decided, let me do my MBA and then do my doctorate in business administration, because it is what that made me who I am. So because my father was a scholar, my father was a professor.
Wow.
To tell you how serious it is. And wherever they talk about my father, and I'm the only son he gave birth to, and I said, why can't I be at least closer to a professor? Yeah. So I'm trying to do my doctorate in business administration, so that at least a few years from now, I'll be a doctor in business administration. Yeah. Not in science like him. For him, I was a professor in biology. But at least
as you said, you will have gotten somewhere closer to where he was.
So I am pushed by two things.
Yes.
To be like my father, but also to excel in what I'm doing.
Yeah. Do you have any children of your own? And
yes,
how do you approach education as far as they are concerned? How do you educate them? And what are you... Because technology served you differently, it will serve this generation differently. So I wonder how you're doing that with your kids.
Let me tell you, it's not only about the kids or the people around me. It's about everyone that is watching this show. If you don't put in time, if you don't learn what you're doing, you may not excel or succeed. I may not say that I've reached there. That's why I'm still learning. That's why I'm still reading. That's why I'm still studying. And this is the advice that I give to every person that is seeing, that is watching. Yeah. Learn what you're doing. Learn. Don't just say that I've reached, that I've gotten. I have 16. This is my 16th year of experience, but I'm still learning. I'm still learning what I'm doing. So learning doesn't stop. There is a saying that you stop learning when you die.
Yeah.
So if you reach a point and you feel like you've learned and you've known everything, trust me,
you're dead.
Someone is coming to bypass you and you remain backward. So it's not only for me or for people around me, it's for everyone that is watching. Whatever age, don't stop learning. Anything. I didn't know that I would be seated here next to you.
You see, here we are.
Here we are.
You know, and I love that message you've passed out because you've passed on, because I know a lot of people that have found themselves in the media, for example. Somebody has a good voice, they can speak well, they've been given a job as a radio presenter, and you have a chat with this person, they're telling you about 7 years they've spent there. And for 7 years, they have not bothered to upgrade, not even bothered to get a certificate, not even bothered to just look for somebody who has that qualification, academic qualification, to give some knowledge, share some knowledge with them.
Yeah.
And people get stagnant because of that.
Because of that. They think they know, but trust me, the world is evolving. Things are changing every day. Technology is coming, and people are learning how to do things differently. So if you don't cope up, trust me, the trends are going to leave you out, and you remain without anything. That's why you keep learning.
True. Yeah.
I will stop learning probably when I die.
Yeah.
I really want to learn everything. I want to learn what I'm doing. I don't know where I will be 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, but at least I know I will have completed my doctorate.
You will.
So, doctorate in what? In the things that I'm doing.
The things that you're doing. You just want to, you're acknowledging the fact that much as I know this and I have these years of experience, there's always room to learn more.
To learn something.
And as you said, the world is evolving.
It's evolving.
You don't want it to leave, to leave you behind.
Yes.
And then, Joseph, so you've gone, I wonder how many organizations you've worked for until now. But from what I heard, it's not that many. But I want to talk about the workspace. People normally, there's a saying that people normally join or leave organizations because of the people in there. What has your experience been like in the workspace? What sort of people did you deal with? And how did you overcome challenges that come with work?
To be honest with you, the person that received me, that offered me a job, the very first time when I came back to Rwanda, he knows me. I think if by God's luck he's watching, he knows I wouldn't have wanted to leave him. But you don't leave, that saying is true or false.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have loved to leave him because he offered me that opportunity to actually show off what I had, what I knew, the experience that I had. But I had to look for a better job that would allow me to grow. So sometimes you don't leave because of people, but you leave because you want to grow.
Yes. And you want to grow, knowledge-wise, financially, differently.
And later, I went back to him and told him, I've grown. If you offered me an opportunity, I would come back and work with you.
Wow.
Because
you had no issue with him.
I had no issue with him. So don't leave because you have issue with people.
Yes.
Leave because you have your personal goals, and you leave because you want to grow. Sometimes people leave not because they want to grow, because they had some personal issues with people that they work with. Yeah. Trust me, those are not your relatives. Those are not your uncles, your aunties, your mothers, your fathers. Those are the people that you work with. If you don't learn how to relate with them, tomorrow you'll be out of their space and you will continue working.
So true.
And the person to suffer is you.
And you'll go to one other place and it will be the same situation.
It will be the same thing because people don't behave like you behave. So people always have different behaviors. People have grown from different backgrounds. So why should you struggle and saying I'm leaving because of that person?
Yeah.
That is wrong. That means actually you're the problem.
Yeah.
So leave because of valid reasons. I'm leaving, go and sit with your boss. Tell him I'm leaving because of A, B, C, D. I'm leaving because I want to grow. I'm leaving because of this opportunity. I know I may not get that opportunity here today. But I believe if I come back 2 years, 3 years, 5 years from now, that opportunity will be here. And I will be a better person. So that's why I'm leaving. Yeah. So leaving because of people, to me, I call it immature.
Yeah.
You should leave because you want to grow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then for those that are watching us, and I have met several people that credit you for having mentored them, people that have gone through your hands in one way or the other, and then they would wish to grow, they would wish to make it even much more in life. I wonder, what advice would you have for such people?
I've had a lot of people going through my hands, or I've gone through a lot of people's hands. So it is the other way around. Either me or them or me. So it is the other way around. So everyone that is watching, everyone that we have ever worked together, the message is simple. Don't give up. I always tell people, don't give up. Because when you give up, you're actually allowing some other bad things to come into your mind. Because you go to work expecting something.
True.
Thinking that after some time you're going to have this, you're going to do this. And probably by the time you reach that time, you don't have. So I would love to tell everyone that we've ever worked with, they know me. I always tell them, don't give up. It's not the last time. It's not the last chance. You still have an opportunity to grow. You still have an opportunity to make it.
Yeah.
If it has failed on A, try on B, try on C. But you still have 24 letters to reach Z. Why do you give up?
Don't give up.
Don't give up. Keep doing it. Keep going. If you have any doubt, come and ask me.
You will advise them.
But don't give up. So that's the message I always give my people. That's the message I always give the people that I work with.
Yeah, and those you interact with.
If you failed, so what?
In fact, they say you're better off trying and failing
Instead
than
of
failing to try.
That is
it's as simple as that.
Don't fail to try.
Yeah, don't fail to try.
Try and fail.
Yeah.
Fail again, try again. Fail and try again. One time, you will make it.
Yeah. How do you balance between your personal goals and ambitions? Then you've got family and work. Every one of these things coming with its own demands. How do you strike the balance?
You see, life balance is very, very hard for some people. But you see,
a lot of us.
God has given us 24 hours, all of us, equally. So it depends on how you use the 24 hours. Me, I've divided 24 hours into 3.
Okay.
There are 8 hours we spend at work. Every worker would love you to spend at least 8 hours. Medics or doctors tell us to rest at least for 8 hours. Sometimes we don't sleep for 2 or 3 hours, but at least rest from work.
Yeah.
8 hours. And then the rest of 8 hours, I spend it with the people I love, with the people I'm with the people that I'm supposed to be with. I may not spend 8 hours every day with them, but at least they know there are days that I will spend 16 hours because there are days I don't work.
Wow.
So at least I will compensate. So I try my best to do not be overtaken by one thing and leave the rest hanging. I am always trying to balance. But I don't forget that the best person you should spend your life with is yourself. So how do you spend your life with yourself? Do you get some time and rest? The best person you should spend your time with, it's yourself. It's me. It's you.
Because we're always trying to find the best person on the outside.
No.
It's my siblings, it's my colleagues, it's my friends.
The best person is you. How do you spend some time with you? Because if you are not around, then other people will not benefit. So do you go for gym? Do you go for walk? Do you go for any spa? Do you try to go to the salon to look good? Do you try something? Do you eat
well?
Do you eat
well?
well?
You eat everything that comes along.
Do you drink well?
Yeah.
Do you laugh? Do you enjoy
Do you sleep
watching?
enough?
Me, I enjoy watching soccer.
Wow.
But it doesn't kill the rest of the life issues. I can't go for soccer when I have work. Work comes first. I can't go for soccer when my family or any other person wants me.
You will
I have to be there.
Yeah.
But if it is possible, I will always squeeze some time and go and watch soccer.
Yeah.
If it is possible, I always squeeze some time and go to gym. If it is possible, I always squeeze some time. I go to spa.
The spa, yeah.
If it is possible, I always squeeze some time and do the walking. The best person to live with is yourself.
It's yourself.
Start from yourself, go to the rest.
Before I move to my next question, what soccer team do you support?
Here in Rwanda, I'm a Rayon Sport fan. It's a family thing.
Oh, okay.
But
I'm a Mukura fan.
You're a Mukura fan,
Yes.
so we're relatives.
We are.
We're related. But outside Rwanda, I am a fan of Barcelona.
Oh, okay.
And in my times, I would even go and watch Barcelona live.
Wow.
And I'm a fan of Arsenal as well in England because they are the fighters. I'm a fighter. I'm a gunner.
Yeah.
I feel like
people that don't give up. Even if you don't win the cup,
I'm a
you keep
gunner.
trying.
We last won the cup, I don't know how many years, but we are still the gunners.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Let's go to friendships. How do you choose your friends? How do you choose them? How do you let them into your life and out of your life when things seem not to be working well? And I ask this because I know as much as you want to spend the best time with yourself and do all these other things you want to do, excel at work, excel in life, friendship plays a role.
If there's anyone that is watching this show, they know that I have very few friends. Not because I don't want to have friends, but because I qualify who should be my friend based on things that I believe in. Number one, I believe in integrity. So sometimes I may be with a friend. I think this person, we can be together for some time, but later, the integrity brings them out of my life. Number two is accessibility. If I want to be with you, when you want me, you should see me. When I want you, I should see you.
True.
Sometimes people lie to each other that I'm your friend. When they spend 3 months, 4 months, 6 months without seeing each other, trust me, you're not my friend. Because I would love to spend some time with you.
Yeah.
You would love to spend some time with me because you want to tell me something, you want to ask me for something, advice, and all those things. Then number three is communication. I want a friend that communicates. Whether bad thing, whether good thing, whether... So you may find those friends that don't communicate. They don't tell you something, then you discover it later. Then ask yourself, are you my friend? So if there's anyone that is watching me and he knows me, I'm a communicator. I love communicating. And
you, every detail, every small detail you do.
If there's a friend of mine and I'm here with you, that friend of mine knows that I'm here.
Wow.
You
yes.
see?
Tonight they know, they're watching the show then.
So that's why I have very few friends who I tell everything, who tell me everything. So if you come in my life, and then the fourth thing is behavior. If you start behaving in a way that is not going together with my belief, with my character, my discipline, I will not say go away, but I will make sure I cut some time with you because I might end up learning your behavior.
The behavior, and you don't want
and
that.
I don't want. That's like I told you, I guard this person jealously.
Wow.
This person you see here?
Yes, this Cyusa.
I guard him jealously.
Wow.
I don't want anyone to spoil it, to spoil this person, to kill this person, to change this person because I've built this person for the last 35, 36, 37 years.
Yeah.
So if you come in my life today and you want to change this person, it might be very hard for you.
You seem to be an open book, and possibly friends, colleagues, and even some of the people that follow you online know these things about you. But there might be one or two things that they do not know. And that is what I want to hear from you.
I would say most of my friends know me, but when I tell people things that I do, they don't know me. Sometimes they get shocked. First of all, many people may not know that I'm good at singing. but I'm not a good singer. Other friends, they may not know that in my free time I used to play martial arts. Do you know martial arts?
Karate.
I used to do that, but I stopped because I had developed a lot of love for it, and somehow I would not get enough time for it. You know, that's why I told you, what I love, I give it time. Yeah. So when I started getting busy with work, with the rest of the life things, I said, I can't give you little time to this beautiful game of martial arts. And then I stopped it. But I
Did you win any accolades?
Yes,
there's that belt that they give.
Yes, I stopped at the highest.
Oh, wow.
But I stopped. I don't know. So many people
might not know that.
They only see when they come to my house. Wow. They can see a picture and say, is that you? I said, yes. You mean you do these things? But they didn't know, because I don't love bragging around. I did this, I did this. Yeah. Let the things speak by themselves.
Let's get to know Cyusa's 6 cues. I already know your favorite soccer team, so that question is out. What is the best life advice that you have ever received?
It is when I was advised to go to Uganda. Okay, not Uganda specifically, to go to an English-speaking country. Because that English word has made me who I am today, has changed my entire life. So the person that advised me to go to an English-speaking country never chose for me Uganda. It's just that Uganda was closer to me. Otherwise, I would have gone to Kenya or to any other country. But I went to Uganda because it was the closest country. So that advice
was the best life advice. What do you do for self-care?
I told you, I love doing gym. I love eating well. Eating well doesn't mean eating expensive food. I actually love boiled food.
Wow.
So sometimes I eat boiled food. I love
balanced diet.
I love sleeping.
You love sleeping.
A lot. When I get time, I reach sleep. And I do walking. I can walk from here to my home 14, 15 kilometers.
Oh, me too.
You too?
Oh, yes.
That's
I walk
great.
a lot.
So sometimes I do that. And then I go to spa. I love spa. Whenever I go outside Rwanda, the very first thing I ask the hotel, do you have a spa? Because it's the only thing, at least, that I can relate to wherever I am in the world. So those are the things I do. And then I love watching soccer, listen to music.
You love listening to music. My third question to you is, you love listening to music, and you've highlighted you love Rwandan music. Which one is your favorite song?
In Rwanda?
In Rwanda, yes.
My favorite song is actually it was actually named after my sister's name. It's called Inyanje. It's sung by Kairebwa. I don't know whether you know Kairebwa, Cecilia Kairebwa.
Yeah.
So Inyanje is my favorite song of all times because it's also called the name of my sister. I told you I was born with two sisters, so one died. So the remaining one, I love that sister of mine like nothing. Wow. So Kairebwa sang a song and named it Inyanje. Do you know what Kairebwa...
And the message...
And you know even Kairebwa sang a song and called it Cyusa. Yes, Kairebwa has a song called Cyusa.
Interesting. Yes. Did she know your family or what?
Yeah, somehow my mother and the family of my mother think they relate somehow, but very, very far relationships.
Yeah. What is the message in Inyanje besides it being named after your sister?
She's actually singing about the princess that we used to have in Rwanda, and she would describe her as a person that she has never seen in the world. You know, before the Republic, we used to have kings.
Yes.
So the very last queen that we had in Rwanda, that was the one that Kairebwa was singing.
About.
So how beautiful she was, how good-hearted she was, how she would welcome everyone, how she would put together the families, those that are in troubles, disputes, and the rest of the things. So she was this unifier. She was this welcoming and loving person. So she sang her in a way of praising her.
Okay.
So in a way, I see that also in my sister. So sometimes I sing that song because I feel like my sister is also being sung that song.
Wow. And then what word best describes you?
Never give up. I don't know whether it is one word.
That is not. Wait, somebody who never gives up. We need to find one.
One word.
Determined, maybe.
Okay. I was also going to say timekeeper.
Because you're a timekeeper. You're a learner, like, you know, life learner.
So let the audience choose.
Oh, please. Choose for us.
I am a timekeeper. I am a person who doesn't give up.
You're a principled person.
I am a principled person.
Yeah,
so I don't know which word to use. Please help me.
Let everyone pick whatever word they will pick to describe Cyusa. What has been the highlight of your career so far? My highlight of my career is when I joined the insurance company. When I joined the insurance sector. To me, it is a highlight. Okay. Because it's the first day I joined the insurance, and 16 years now, I've never gone back. Stuck there. So I'm stuck in insurance. Yeah. So I would say that day when I walked in the office and asked the receptionist, what can I do? If it was possible, I would do a movie. About it? About it. Yeah. Because it changed me, and 16 years now.
I'm
We
still
will
doing
do a
it.
small documentary about it.
Probably. So that's my highlight of my career.
Yeah. And lastly, what would you say to the younger Cyusa, a 20-year-old Cyusa?
A 20-year-old Cyusa or
Yeah.
any other person that is not Cyusa, that is younger than me, I would tell them everything is possible if you invest in it. And investing in it, people may think I'm talking about investing money, but I'm talking about investing time. Yeah, invest your time in something and you will achieve it. Don't allow anyone to tell you that it is not possible. Never. The only time you will think it is impossible is when you can't walk, you can't wake up, you can't eat by yourself, you can't drink by yourself. There, you know, you may not be able to achieve your dreams. But if you are able to walk and to think
It is still achievable.
and to feed yourself using your hands, everything is possible. Nothing should stop you. Do it now and don't wait for tomorrow. Many people may say, I'm still young, I can't do it. No, 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 no. There's a family I used to visit, and their father has appointed all the children in different ministries. Wow. So there is a minister in charge of information and technology.
In that home.
And it's just a young boy who is, I think, in primary 3 or primary 4. But because he knows he's in charge of information and technology, he's the one who is operating TVs, operating radios,
Giving the news to the family.
The rest, they wait for him to do that. Wow. He has appointed him. And that boy loves it. And then there is a doctor in that family. That one is still in nursery. So when I go to pick him at school, I have to ask, where is doctor? So I pick the doctor.
Yeah.
And then there is a minister in charge of...
That's a seed being planted.
You know, that father inspires me a lot.
Wow.
And so I always tell people, don't wait. You may see that boy becoming a minister in the future.
True.
Because he grew up knowing he's actually a minister. So don't wait. Don't say I will do it tomorrow. Who knows about tomorrow? That's what I will tell him.
Thank you, Cyusa. Thank you so much for your time. It's been an honor talking to you, and I am hoping that you have learned something. And as we concluded, Cyusa said, do not think of the impossibility, because as long as you still are mobile, you can move, you can talk, you can do these things. Anything is possible, and do it now. The other thing is, if you love something, invest in it. Invest anything that it takes in it. It's not just money, it's several other things. Invest yourself in it and you will excel. It's been a pleasure to have you on The Real Talk. We're looking forward to seeing you next week, and please let's keep the conversation going using the hashtag The Real Talk. God bless you.